I saw that was really, really disturbing to me was I saw it on Pix 11 News here in New York City. And it was the Bronx. And the Bronx had a proposal that was brought to Baltimore. I believe it was February, if I'm correct here. And that proposal was to build a homeless shelter. And if many of you know, as many of these lives as I do, I've always advocated for the homeless here in New York City, and I will continue to do so. I want to say, first of all, thank you to Donald Trump for always letting me reach out to him, tag him, or Lynn Patton, great job what you did going through the NYCHA buildings. But this was a disturbing thing. There is, I think he's a councilman. His name is Ruben Diaz. He's a Pentecostal preacher, believe it or not. And Ruben Diaz, along with some others in the neighborhood, and this is on the 4 line, I believe, they just recently had a protest. And that protest was about stopping a homeless shelter being built in the Bronx. And I was just really, really disturbed by it. I think the reason more so I was disturbed by it was the protest that these men had. And this woman who was actually a teacher, I believe, or maybe some type of, what's the name, at one of the corner elementary schools or something else. And they actually had a protest about this. And the protest was I guess, in regards to they didn't want the homeless shelter in the Bronx. If you go back a little bit further, maybe 5 months ago, you also see the same thing happen in Queens. I believe it was Far Rockaway. You had the same thing at a protest. And just recently I saw something here in the neighborhood that I've called home for a while, Fifth Avenue. It's depressing. It really is depressing. See, as I mentioned before, and I mentioned to Donald Trump, and I mentioned to Lynn Patton, I mentioned to also Ben Carson, was this. If you don't do something to cure this problem, you're going to see what happens in France, you're going to see what happens in Greece, you're going to see what happens in Portugal, and many other places throughout the world where their homeless crisis is getting so ineptly over them that what's happening is people are, well, for the better part, refusing to travel these places. And if you look at, I have to throw this in too. The day before yesterday, there was a report that was given, and this was also on Pix 11 here in New York City. And that report showed that homelessness in New York City had actually increased. It increased so much that this was the first time, and the numbers were comparison demographic-wise to the 1980s. Yeah, you heard it, the 1980s. One of the things that I see, and I don't want to ramble here, one of the things that I see that's really, really earth-shattering is that these churches, these neighborhoods, etc., they don't want these places there, but at the same time, they blight at the eyesore of seeing these people sleep on the trains, see these people sleep on the streets. Right here on Fifth Avenue, you can go right up and down. And like I said, I've been in this neighborhood now a year down from Connecticut, and I can tell you, up and down the street, no matter where you go. Matter of fact, right around the corner here, Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church, you'll see homeless people sleeping there. So my point is, what do you do with these people? Do you continue to have the eyesore and continue to want to see them? Or do you let Mayor de Blasio, reluctantly as I hate to say, have his way? HRA and a couple other facilities in New York City have failed. NYCHA, as far as housing people and housing, has failed. So I guess now what the question is whether or not you allow, hold on 1 second, guys, right here? Is this fine? Yeah. Okay, cool. Right now, I guess the question is whether or not we allow NYCHA to actually be faulty in any type of way, or do we actually allow this to realm? Now, one of the things I have to say, and I have to say it again, a lot of these people should be completely embarrassed by their actions, and more so along, they should be completely embarrassed by the state of New York City right now. 58% of the homeless population in New York City currently is African American men. Let that sink in. 58%. The numbers right now currently are somewhere upwards of 68,000. Now, Ruben Diaz, you've made many different mistakes before. But one of the things that's funny to me is a lot of these people that I'm pointing out right now are African American and Latino, and they come from those same neighborhoods right there in the Bronx. They come from Harlem. They come from Queens. They come from many of the other surrounding boroughs in New York City. So if you don't want them in your neighborhood and you don't want a homeless shelter in your neighborhood, I can walk up and down the Bronx street any day of the week, and I guarantee you I will see someone, somewhere, homeless, on drugs, or etc. If you want these people off the street, you need to find a solution for them. You need to find a quick. All right, guys, Eagle, the Black Jew once again. Guys, we want to, as I always said, keep this channel going. We're going to have more content for you. I appreciate you guys. If you go and donate, that's $StringerBell80. I'll put the link right down in the description so you guys can donate or whatever. I'm a proponent of this. It have been for a long time. And like I said, this is my neighborhood right here on Fifth Avenue. I just find it just sickening, the way that some people are. You don't want to see them in the streets, but you don't want to see them on the trains. In many cases, these people are just elderly people. And, you know, some of them are bad apples, don't get me wrong. There's some bad apples here and there, but I think we weave around them and get them the proper help that they need. We might have it better. So, guys, I'm out of here. Make sure you donate. Cash App. I'll talk to you later.
With rumors circulating that New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is going to run for president, fallout from the homeless crisis, which has plagued the majority of his time in office, once again took center stage Friday night, this time in the Parkchester section of the Bronx.
What are we fighting for? I have 3 kids.
The mayor was not present. Neither was the head of the local community board, who residents say quietly gave the nonprofit Samaritan Village the okay to choose this site for the shelter 2 years ago.
I will never lie to this community. I will not tell you that a shelter's not coming here.
But a pair of state legislators did their best to explain the process.
You have many people, black and brown people, that I represent, that are homeless. And it is heartbreaking to me to hear how these people are being described.
It did not work. Excellence Community Schools CEO Dr. Charlene Reed, who expressed her frustrations with us earlier this week about the city's selection process, took the stage Friday night.
There are other locations.
And echoed the community's concerns about opening a men's shelter where level 1 and 2 sex offenders would be allowed to stay in a facility surrounded by several schools and an adult daycare center.
No one took in consideration that the scholars that attend this school and that attend the other school are being put in harm's way.
Things completely fell apart when the crowd began dismissing Parkchester native and former council member Annabelle Palma.
You do not have to listen to me. I will just leave.
Palma is now a deputy commissioner for the agency that oversees the city's homeless services.
We have the right to build the shelter at this site. That's what I have the right to do.
The crowd did not hear or see anyone from Samaritan Village, the nonprofit that is set to run that shelter. We also reached out to Community Board 9, hoping for some kind of response. They too absent from tonight's community meeting. We're live in the Parkchester section of the Bronx tonight. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
I'll tell you what, they made themselves very clear there. Jay, thank you so much for that.